welcome back to the Ca' Foscari Short Film Festival. On this first day, we are with Tony Grillo, member of our international jury, director, producer, writer, and so much more. Welcome, Mr. Grillo. We're glad to have you here in Venice.
Grazie.
So you have selected like 2 shirts to have them displayed here. Can you tell us a bit about these shirts?
Sure. One of them is called Good One and Bad One, The Golden Crosses, I believe is the episode. Good One and Bad One, Good One versus Bad One was a series that we developed many years ago, maybe about 10 years ago, to actually play on YouTube. The internet, the YouTube model was still pretty young at the time, so if you had a certain number of hits, it wasn't that difficult, I should say, to get like a lot of hits. And then it was actually changing as this was happening. So then suddenly, you know, nobody was getting these kind of numbers anymore. But we were having a pretty good run with it, and it was funny and weird and offensive in a way. And but it was a really good chance for me to work on something that we were building from within. We had writers and creators that were handing us scripts. I was able to do story editing and then help my do storyboards, help my artists kind of learn more about the tools and the processes. So it seems like teaching is always a part of the process. So it was a really great teaching tool as well. And we created a few funny episodes. This one is takes a stab at organized religion and how it's become very franchisable, I guess would be a word for it, in the United States, with the evangelical churches, and it's just become a very, ripe ground for comedy. So we took a good shot at what would happen if you took the fast food culture and the religious culture and sort of merged them together into one thing. It was actually surprisingly easy to imagine what that would be like.
Okay, thank you. And since you work with both big productions and independent ones, we were wondering what are the main differences and which one do you like better in order to deliver a product?
That's a good question. It's hard to say. The big productions definitely have better snacks, so I can always, you always know there's going to be a bagel waiting for you. No, they're just different. It's hard to say what's better. For me, obviously, I like the smaller productions because that's typically what I do. But it certainly doesn't offer that same experience that you get working with lots of really talented people in one place over a long period of time. Oh, I'm so sorry, I was meant to silence that phone. So that, I do miss that, and I try to get in, I actually still try to get into an environment where I can work on a big production once in a while. Because not only are you sort of living off of that experience, but you're learning something new. Every 10 years there's some new technology or new approach that I take with me, into my smaller productions. And that's consistently been the case over the years. But I generally have productions of 4 or 5 people, at the most, or just working alone. And that's obviously got a comfort level as well. You have less people to answer to, and frequently you don't have to dress up very much to show up to work. I dressed up today.
Yeah, we were also wondering what sparked your interest in animation, and how did you get close to the subject?
I think it's really my brothers who got me interested in it. When I was a little kid, tiniest little kid, my brother had discovered Super 8 filmmaking, and he would put us in his films. I have bumps and bruises to prove it. I have still have a lump on my head where, no, you gotta put your head like this. And he would do animation, like he would have him stop, take a picture, stop, take a picture, do a lot of stop motion with actual bodies. He had a reel-to-reel, tape recorder, at the time just so cutting edge, state of the art. And we used to make these funny, like Alvin and the Chipmunks type play rip-offs. and just had a lot of fun with sound and video. So I kind of picked up on that. The first film I ever made was Mr. Bill. Do you know Mr. Bill? It's a Saturday Night Live film. They used to play them in the 70s. Very funny, little clay character, something bad always happened. Hi, Mr. Hand, oh no! You know, you get squished. And I tried to do a play at school. This was 9th grade, so what, 13, 14 years old. Tried to make a play at school, live play with Mr. Bill, and it went horribly. I mean, just horribly. Like, we had to have the teacher come up on stage and explain why it's not okay to laugh at these kids. And meanwhile, I'm going, no, laugh at us. We screwed this up completely. But I had my revenge. I was going to go make a film. I made a film, same plot, whatever, and it came out beautifully. I had my brother's help, and I just knew, I'm like, this is my medium. Somewhere in this is what I need to be doing. I started making my own stop-motion movies with Star Wars action figures and whatever I can get my hands on. And over time, it seemed everything I did, even if I tried to get away from it, I always got pulled back into making film and animation. So hard to avoid, I guess.
And finally, how do you feel about your role as a jury member at the Short Atmospheric Festival? And also, how do you relate to the works of young filmmakers who are just starting their career?
Well, I would say it doesn't look like they're just starting. These films are amazing. I find their work to be way better than most of what I've done. I mean, most of the pieces I've watched are just amazing. I do wish, honestly, there was a category for acting as well, because I've grown to really become fond of that part of the directing experience, working with actors. And when actors can give you these amazing performances like they have in these films, you know, that just makes the director's job so much easier. It just makes it so much easier. It's an incredible honor to be here. I feel very lucky. I feel like I won the lottery, and I've taken it very seriously. I'm trying to be very, focused on what these folks are trying to say with their films, and where their careers are going to go. I just am so excited because I feel like I have the chance to judge a film. Like some of these filmmakers are going to go on and make films that the entire world is going to see and are going to be just world-renowned. And I'm in this wonderful place where I can be like, I judged them. I judged them. That's not even a good word for it. In America, that would have a bit of a different connotation. I'm just very lucky to be playing a role. I really am. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for staying with us.
Yeah, it's an honor.
It's really my honor. It is. I can't wait to get into the festivities. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's surely going to be a lot of fun.